So hey guys, thanks to all of you if you started watching this video. This video is going to all about OSI model of computer network. But before I start the video, I would like to let you know guys. Might be this video for you, this video is going to be for educational and learning purpose, but for me this is for improving my communication skill. So I would request you to please help us to learn and improve. So now get back to our agenda. Now what is OSI model in computer network? So basically OSI model is a conceptual framework that describe how a telecommunication happens in the computer network. Basically it has 7 layers, and if we talk about the layers from bottom to top, so the very first layer is physical layer, then a data link layer, then application layer, then transport layer, then session, presentation and application layer. We are going to break down each layers one by one. I would start from physical layer, although we can start from application layer, but I personally realize that it is more easy and feasible to describe from physical layer, because it will give a complete solution when we will combine all that 7 layers. So now what is physical layer in OSI model? So basically OSI model, a physical layer of OSI model having multiple devices which is used on the physical layer, like hub, cable, repeater, host, etc. So hub is a electronic device which has multiple network ports, and basically that is Ethernet ports. So hub has multiple Ethernet ports on it, and we connect the system or host, you can say your laptop. So we can connect the system to the hub so that they can able to communicate in a local area network. Okay, this is good. So so basically in the OSI model of 7 layer, each model have their own advantages and disadvantages. So now if the physical layer having hub connected with the users and they can able to communicate in the local area network, so what is the problem? So problem is hub is a device which simply take the data and flood on all of its port. Now suppose a hub having 5 ports, and all the to all of the 5 ports users are connected, like user A, B, C, D, E. Now if user A needs to communicate with user B, so when user A send the data, and that data in the form of 01, in the form of bits, we all know computer understand binary languages. So if that data 0101 go on to the hub, so what hub perform? So hub generally copy the data. Hub generally duplicates the data and flood rest to all of its port. That means except where it received. Suppose it received on port number 1, so except that port number 1, it is going to flood that data, that duplicate data, to all of the ports. So due to this we can think there is no security, correct? Because if the data is sending to user B, and rest other users are receiving that data, that means there is no security. So apart from security, we also hub also has a single broadcast domain. So that means if you wants to send a data, so that data is going to be flood on all of the ports to the entire hub ports, right? That is what I discussed earlier. Apart from that, it is single collision domain. So having said that, it means uh, parallelly two users can't send the data, right? So if user A is sending some data and user B is also sending the some other data at the same time, so definitely there is going to collide on the path, because it is a single collision domain. So that is the issues, like broadcast control, security issue, and uh, single collision domain, and hub is also half duplex device. So if you half duplex is something half duplex is something which can send or receive the data at a time. This means at a time, at a particular time, you can only send the data, not receive that data on the ports. So if you combine all these picture like single broadcast domain, single collision domain, half duplex, so you will get to know these all things making a but disadvantages in hub. What if parallel what if multiple user needs to communicate at a time? So to avoid that broadcast issue, that single broadcast issue and security, single collision and single broadcast domain, to remove the half duplex issue, we have some things called switch. So switch is also a network device which is used on data link layer. Okay, and I said that each and every layer remove the disadvantages of its previous layer. Now above then the physical layer, there is data link layer, and there is a switch, network device switch, that is used on the data link layer to remove the broadcast control issue, to remove the security issue and all that. Now what switch performs then? So switch is also by default, switch is also single broadcast domain. It has also multiple ethernet ports, and on that ports we can connect multiple hosts, and host is something like your laptop, your PC, your server and your printer, etc. So on the switch we can connect the server, laptop and printer, mobile phone, etc, etc. So but by default switch is also a single broadcast domain only. So how it will remove the security issue, how it will remove the single broadcast domain issue? So basically uh, at data link layer we have some technologies like VLAN. So VLAN stands for virtual local area network. So with the help of VLAN we can achieve broadcast control, we can achieve security issue, we can achieve flexibility and scalability, and also VLAN provide quality of services. Now how it happens? Okay, so VLAN is a technology like suppose if you have 24 ports on a switch. So VLAN stand for virtual local area network. So suppose in your local area network, on your switch, 24 port switch, there are 24 devices connected. Okay, 6 devices are from HR department, 6 other devices are from network department, 6 from account departments, and six for sales department, right? So what VLAN performs, VLAN logically group the switch ports in a single broadcast. Okay, and when we grouping those ports in a VLAN, so we must align a VLAN ID, and VLAN ID is a number we can give from 1 to any number, 1 to 12, 13, 14. So when we apply the VLAN on the switch, so VLAN do the logical grouping of switch ports. Now if we group from port number 1 to port number 6 for HR departments, so now HR departments are able to communicate to each other in that broadcast only, in that broadcast domain only. Now you can see by applying VLAN we can control the broadcast domain, right? And it also provides the security, because no one from HR department is going to leave their broadcast domain. So no network department guy can able to communicate with HR department, because already VLAN have applied, and the 6 ports are already applied in a single VLAN ID, suppose 10. Then it's provide scalability, flexibility, then quality of service. So the thing is, if we go deeper into the OSI model layers, so there is multiple technology which are coming to introduce. So we will discuss those technologies in a separate video, in the particular video, because every technology, every protocol have their own importance, and believe me, they are very deeper. So it is almost impossible to explain all the protocols in a single video, because this video is all about overview of OSI model, so we will keep it as simple as that. So now at data link layer, at the switch, we can achieve broadcast control, security, scalability, flexibility, and we also switch is a full duplex mode device, because their ports, we can set their ports on full duplex mode. So when at the time we set their ports on full duplex mode, so that ports is going to be receive and send the data parallelly. So they will not wait, okay, first I am receiving that data, once complete then I will start sending. No, they will send and receive the data parallelly. So these are the things which is these are the responsibilities which is happening on the data link layer. Then again, above then data link layer, we have network layer. Okay, so at data link layer, I missed main and important things, like at the data link layer, we use physical addressing to communicate with devices, and physical addressing is something which is we called MAC address. And MAC address, each devices in the electronics domain having the MAC address and serial number. Okay, note it down. So at layer 2, we use a MAC address to perform the communication, and MAC address is 6-byte number. It is 6-byte number, and in 1 byte there is total 8 bit. So the MAC address is of 48 bits hexadecimal values. Okay, so at layer 2, we perform the network communication with the help of layer 2 physical MAC addresses, with the help of MAC address. Okay, now coming to network layer. So at network layer, we can able to communicate with the devices with the help of IP address. Okay, if two devices are in different network, so we can able to ping, we can able to communicate with those devices with the help of IP addressing. If we know the IP address, so we can able to communicate. Now now IP address, basically majorly it is divided into two parts: private IP address and public IP address. So public IP address is routable, private IP address is not routable, and private IP is free of cost. We can use it. So we can use it in our local area network to assign the IP to our host, our system. We can assign the IPs either dynamically or statically. So again guys, this IP addressing is also a very long concept, so we will break down the IP addressing in another separate video. So now this is the rule and responsibilities of network layer. So the IP address, like physical address at data link layer, that the MAC address is of 48 bits. So IP address is total 30 IP address having total 32 bits. The size of IP address is 4 byte, and in 1 byte, as I said earlier, it is 8 bits. So if we calculate that 4 bytes value, so it will be 32 bits. So IP address is also a 32 bit number. And now then if we go above then network layer, so there is a transport layer. So transport layer is basically responsible for end-to-end service delivery. So having said that, it means if you want to access some websites over internet, so you must aware to communicate securely with the server. If you want to access a website, so you must need to use a port. Okay, so and that port is maybe if you heard about HTTP, so the port of HTTP is 80. So transport layer is ensure our communication is going to be reliable. Okay, so it uses ports for end-to-end delivery. So so how it use the port assignment. So basically there are two protocol at transport layer, TCP and UDP. So TCP stand for transmission control protocol. UDP stand for user datagram protocol. So TCP, the role of TCP is to make a reliable communication between client and server. So how it is going to achieve a reliable communication between client and server? So basically it first perform three-way handshake connection between client and server, and that connection name is like SYN, SYNAC and ACK. So first it perform three-way handshake connection. Once the connection made, then they are start sending the data, actual data. Now again, since SYNAC ACK is a very good concept, and it is very deep. So we will break down this also in the separate video. Now after TCP there is other protocol, UDP. So UDP stands for user datagram protocol. So basically it doesn't responsible for reliable communication. It just fire and forgot. For example, if you streaming something on Hotstar like your cricket, so at their UDP protocol is running between client and server, between your machine browser to server, because it can't apply TCP, because first TCP perform three-way handshake connection, and in that there is a time take that it will take some time, but UDP don't have that much time. So it need to be, it just fire and forgot, and doesn't reliable communication. So above than that there is a session layer. Session layer is responsible for maintaining session between client and server. So you above than that, presentation layer is something which is responsible for translating the actual data into the network formats. It basically translates and taking care of the syntax and semantics and all type of encryption, decryption, confidentiality, and SSL TLS tunnel is establishing on this layer between client and server. And after that is application layer. So application layer is nothing but it is acting as a intermediary between client and server. So if you want to access some data, for example www.xyz organization.com, so you must need an user interface to access that company. So that is something that that is application layer. In our practical case, you can consider Chrome or your web browser as a application layer.